driven Frodo Baggins.
All right. Oh, welcome everybody to our first episode of Drop Rate Media Podcast, where we just talk a bunch of shit about video games.
Hell yeah, that's primarily my favorite topic of conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, we just we'll say shit we don't even know facts about and
This
check
is
them
this is
later.
strictly just a I guess we want to say real time opinion flow conversation kind of thing. So we're just talking, just two guys talking about shit as far as we know it, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I am gamertag Amarelli. I have been playing video games since honestly 64 era in a sense. Been playing, I want to say like my first actual game was Mortal Kombat on N64. And then of course, Mario Kart and Mario in general. My favorite genres usually are FPS and MMOs. And yeah, just that's the little bit of a gaming background, life background. I did a whole bunch of gaming when I was younger. I was, dumb, joined the army at 17 years old, spent time there, did all that traveling and other shit, and now I'm here.
Yes, hello. My name gamertag's Ghostman761. I've been gaming pretty much my whole life. So, story I always tell is like I guess when the NES came out, my great grandfather sat me down with a controller with Mario when I was like 2, and I would just sit there and just push the buttons and just stare at the screen and stuff. So it's like I've been pretty much playing games most of my life. Let's see. My favorite games, I guess, kind of. I primarily play I like single player games a lot. RPGs are pretty good. I've always been a fan of old school RPGs like JRPGs and stuff. FPSs, not as much recently, but I still like FPSs. More tactical, realistic ones nowadays. But yeah, so that's pretty much that with the gaming. Personal life, I was in the army as well for 5 years. It's where I met Amarelli here. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it about me.
Yeah, let's see. Pretty much like the background of like the actual podcast, like the name and stuff. It actually existed. I want to say like maybe like 5 years ago when I first got out of the army. Me and a couple friends decided to try to do something like crazy, where like we tried to do like create drop rate media into like everything like everybody else was doing back in like 2018 2019, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna make a gaming corporation and I'm just gonna, you know,
Right, like a conglomerate kind of thing. You're
yeah,
trying to make it a
yeah.
brand,
We're
right?
gonna do a whole bunch of
Make a big
media
brand.
on video games, exactly. Like media on video games. Oh, by the way, we're gonna make a stream team, a YouTube team, like just very overzealous about the
Yeah,
shit.
it was very ambitious. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just, it lasted for a little bit, and we were just like, what really actually ended up happening, right? Which is crazy, is the fact that like we hit the point where it's like, hey, on like the Twitch and everything else, it's like, hey, you have affiliate rights and everything else, but we need you to put in tax information. And that's really what really killed it, because it's like, well, what do we do? Do we just have one person put in their own information, or
Right.
do we create a whole,
like you making an actual LLC?
yeah,
or
an
something, like an
LLC?
actual corporation.
Yeah, dude, it was insane, because it was just like no one could understand it, like figure out what we wanted it to do. And then out of nowhere, it just died out, because it's just like no one wanted to like do the whole like looking into LLCs and stuff. Like there were still people in the army at the time.
Well,
It
yeah,
just
and it's also a major leap at that point. Like, it's not as hard as people think, I feel, to start a business and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is a lot of work if you're coming into it blind. Like, you gotta do a little digging
oh
and
yeah,
stuff. You know?
you have no fucking clue what you want to do, and then all of a
Oh,
sudden be
yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're gonna just start an LLC and
Yeah,
hope to God it
it's kind
fucking
of a big
works,
step,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
starting out, yeah.
But yeah, so like it just ended up dying out. And then of course, like we're here now where, me and a longtime friend for since 2000 and what, 13? 2012, 13,
Oh, yeah.
when we first met each other in Fort Campbell. And
Some good times at Fort Camel, some of the
yeah,
best times.
and we just, we have a history of just getting into long fucking rants while we're playing video games, and we're just like, you know what if we make a podcast?
Yeah,
See how
maybe other
many
people want to hear this too.
yeah, see how many idiots actually want to listen to us just jabber like old men.
I'll
So
tell
yeah.
you what. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens, everything else. The stuff in the background, not so much because it's just a lot of work, but fuck it. We're not here to like get rich or anything. We're just here to just shoot the shit.
Absolutely. And somebody, like I said, if somebody enjoys listening to us go about it, all the better.
Yeah,
Just hopefully, something we talk about or whatever is at least entertaining, right?
Of course. So yeah, we're just literally the biggest thing about the podcast is that we're gonna talk about your MMOs, your RPGs, your shooters, D&D, because we're a bunch of fucking nerds,
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some tabletop games and trading card games, because little does Ghost know that, like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
been
doing
out
a
of
lot of
Magic
learning
for a
because
while, but
I've
guess
been out of
what?
the scene for a minute.
He's gonna end up at some point getting back into it. We'll see. Guarantee it. But but yeah, that's pretty much the genres we're gonna talk about, and we're just gonna, if something pops off that's more significant during the week that we think, you know what, let's just talk about it, get some opinions on what's happening in a certain game or a certain genre. We just do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like we have like and I'll show on stream real quick. Like we have a little, guideline on what the hell we're gonna do, but really it's just not much. It's literally just, hey, hit these talking points if you want to, blah blah. Other than that, we're just shooting by the hip.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is going to end up, coming free flow at a certain point. Like, it's not a matter of scripting it or anything. A lot of
Yeah.
it's just normal conversation. But especially going into this first episode, we have a couple bullet points and things like that, and try to keep us on track.
And it's just like dude, like I know I'm gonna jump off, but you know what? It's a podcast. Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna jump off of the little like flow chart real quick. I was watching so it's a longtime WoW player, right? She has been playing the game for fucking years. Like every expansion ends up getting and unlocking every single achievement in the game.
That's cool.
In the fucking game.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like they're doing, so like right now they're doing the whole fucking like so like big streamers and medium streamers or people that are really good at RP. They decided to do, the hardcore WoW server, classic server that launched. But they're doing what they call OnlyFangs and then Fangsley. OnlyFangs is the main guild. Fangsley is pretty much the guild of people that didn't make it to the main guild, but can do stuff and get pulled in and shit like that. Right?
I'm familiar with the concept. Like, there's a lot. It's like a starter guild, like a trainer guild. Yeah.
And dude, the shit that is coming off of these, because they're RPing as well. They're not just doing normal shit. So like,
I've seen a couple clips.
Yeah,
like I saw one guy dressed up like a troll sitting there.
Oh,
unfortunately, he
man.
died. It was a clip where he died, but yeah.
So I just saw, and I was watching her stream, and it was a dude called a second, I gotta fucking look for it real quick. In the WoW. There we go. So his name's Jay the Bard, right?
I think I've heard that
dude,
before.
holy shit. Like, it's just out there making Disney and like Tim Burton fucking quality music to match his fucking character, right?
Mm.
All right. I'm gonna pause the music. Dude, if you haven't done this, like look at my stuff and just it's just insane. So it's so like there's one where it's like I guess he died or whatever, and he's talking about like so Soda Poppin died, right? He was the leader of the guild at first.
Yeah, I actually saw a video about that last night, talking about the little bit of the drama, I guess, behind it, because apparently Tyler, after he died, took over, and there was
Yes.
a bunch of
Yeah, so
stuff
Tyler
related to
One's in
that.
charge now, and we all know
Yeah.
how Tyler One is, dude. He's just loud, screams. You know, he just speaks his fucking mind.
He's got the stereotypical alpha mentality, like I'm better than
Dude,
everybody else.
fucking
That's just his
when
whole
I
fucking
think
persona.
dude,
I really hope it's partially an act, like
oh,
Doctor Disrespect kind of thing. But like, part
dude,
of me believes that's just him. Like that's his real
it,
persona. I don't know.
it it probably
He
is,
reminds me of my
honestly.
cousin a
Like,
lot. Honestly, I have a cousin that's just like that. He reminds me exactly like him.
yeah, like it probably is a persona. Like maybe not. Who cares? I don't really give a fuck. But it's funny. All I can think about is like when I see him is the what is it? Shia LaBeouf when he's like fucking like getting like when he's like flexing and stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Like
right.
that's all I could think of.
No,
But
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah. So like
It's just a little too over the top to seem genuine. You know what I mean? Like he makes it. It's
yeah
more like a show. Yeah.
yeah. So like he's so apparently he's like I guess like Soda Poppin died, and now like he's I could be wrong, but he's coming up to try to find what is it or to get control of the guild again, right? Because like he's
Right,
now level
right. But
60
yeah, I saw that he said he
and
didn't want
stuff.
to do it until he got to 60
Yeah,
again, and he didn't want to fucking get help because of
mm,
whatever
yeah.
reason.
So like there's this clip that I'm gonna play, dude, and this guy Jay the Bard is just hilarious, and he's just so good at what he's doing. There you go.
If you said you want me to watch it, are you gonna stream it?
If you want,
Yeah, I can.
it's in the Discord
Oh, got it. All
or
right.
like on Twitch. You're gonna just watch the live stream if you want to.
Oh, that's fine. Never mind. Then just go ahead and play it. I'll check it out here in a sec. All right, let's see. You said you linked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna link straight to you.
Okay, sounds good. Yep.
That. So there's that one. Hold on. So that's the stream. So like, if
Oh
you
yeah,
need to like pull it up,
stream. Yeah. Duh.
but
Yeah, thanks.
here it is. So it's like, dude, here we go. Copy link. But dude, it is so hilarious because he's like making these movie quality things. It's insane to me.
Oh yeah, I mean it reminds me of like the old like when Classic WoW came out. There were a lot of machinimas and stuff
Yeah. And then
that were
there's
going. You know.
so like there's that one, and then like okay, so like you should be able to like watch this one on stream and like with everybody, dude. And it's hilarious because she kind of like she found out like she realized today she foreshadows her own death,
Oh really?
or like he foreshadows her death as the bard, and it's hilarious. So like here we go. So let's see. All right, you ready?
Yeah,
All
should
right.
be. I'm not getting any sound though.
There you go.
What have we here? Mudvix, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared. So you're the one everybody's talking about. You're joking. You're joking. I can't believe my eyes. You gotta be. This can't be the right guy. He's ancient. He's ugly. I don't know which is worse. I might just put a steam now if I don't die laughing first. Mr. Oogie Boogie says there's trouble close at hand. You better pay attention, Peo, cause I'm the boogeyman. And if you aren't shaking, there's something very wrong. And Annie, this may be the last time you hear the boogie song. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Oh, look, there it is.
Dude, and then the portal as well fucking just pops up, dude. But yeah, like that moment when he's like, Annie, might be the last time that you hear the boogie song. Her warrior dies.
Really?
Yes.
That's wow.
Yeah.
That's
dude,
funny.
fucking
That's actually
insane.
kind of hilarious.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like,
It is.
I mean, if you have to die, there are worse ways to go.
You're
You
right.
know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
it
that's
is
all I'm
it is
saying.
hilarious though. Like and I just saw that today and I was like, you know what? Gotta talk about it because it was pretty cool. I thought it was
That is-
hilarious.
Yeah, no, and like that guy. First off, like the singing was amazing. Like pretty good singing there. Now I think that is that the same guy that did the interview with Tyler after he took over the guild and stuff. Because like I saw this, it was a propaganda piece. Let's be honest. Even I feel like it was he did it on purpose because it was like to draw attention to it. But he was doing a voice like he was interviewing him in like a a goblin kind of style, and it sounded almost like it might have been him.
Dude,
You know anything about that?
honestly, probably because like, dude, I'd have to go through all his clips and stuff because like I said, like there's this one too, right? Like this one that he's like in response.
Soda Poppin' thinks he's gonna level up and take over again.
No, honestly, sounds like he could have been a. Oh shit. Hold on.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They are not prepared for me. In the dark of the night, I was tossing and turning, and the nightmare I had was bad as can be. It scared me out of my wits. A corpse falling to bits. And I looked in my eyes, and the nightmare was me! I was once the most mystical man in all Azeroth. When only Fangs betrayed me, they made a mistake. My curse made each of them pay. Then one little troll got away. Little Soda beware, Johan's awake. So
Dude, just
Oh my God.
insane, dude. Like when it
I mean, it's they got a good thing going. You know what? You know what the OnlyFans thing reminds me of? I'm not gonna lie. It kind of reminds me of the Critical Role, right? It's like they're trying to go for the become the Critical Role of WoW, and it's like you can see it in the production quality of the things they're trying to do. And I'm not gonna lie, even the narrative that they're writing, like the drama between like
The
Soda
different-
Poppins and Tyler and all this shit, I feel is really for the viewers.
Well,
like,
yeah, because
it's
he
all
also
about the content, right?
Yep. And that's what they even said. Like they are making sure they're banning stuff and everything else to make sure that like it is still giving out content to the viewers because at the end of the day, that's what they are. They are entertainers. They are there to
Right, they're there to just stream it. so people can watch.
make money, and give people a show, and it's happening. They're doing that, and it's really really cool.
I do give them credit for coming up with the because as funny as it is to say, like with the drama aspect and everything, it's like they are handwriting the scripts and they're doing all that stuff. I do feel like part of it, like I said, is an act in that. Like I don't think there's any real animosity there.
Yeah,
There
no,
shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Like I think sometimes like because of course it is hardcore, so like
Oh yeah, I can understand getting pissed off if somebody gets you killed at level 40 or something.
exactly like even like if you're like level 60 and stuff, right? Like if you get killed off because someone made a mistake or something like that, then like you're gonna have some animosity towards them and shit. Like you're gonna get pissed, and it's understandable. But like it's a thing though too is that like they have a whole thing of like even the races. So like like trolls against orcs and everything else. They're trying to find because like each one has their own individual war chief for like the RP purposes and stuff. So it's like they're even like they will probably, of course, as the horde, you know, raid together, but under one war chief, which right now I'm pretty sure is Tyler one.
I don't know how recent the video I saw was, but it was like a recap of all of it. It was like a highlight reel of
Yeah.
like all the points. So I don't know how long it's
Oh,
been going
dude,
on.
there's so many recap. So like right now, like I'm like the easiest way that I'm doing like and keeping up with like a lot of stuff that's going on and like people dying and stuff like that is honestly through Anna Fuchsia's fucking subreddit because she has her followers and subscribers and stuff just post like deaths, almost deaths and stuff, like clips of them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, dude, it's insane. It's I think it's good. I think it's good for WoW. And you know, I'm biased, so any
Yeah.
good things towards WoW, I'm here for it, all right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do think there's two sides to every story. I mean, I'm happy for like I do appreciate what they're doing, especially for the sake of like them trying to create the media and all that. Um, but I don't know. Overall, state of the WoW thing, it's like it depends on the situation. I've heard, or at least I've read, differing opinions on that too. Like it could be contrived in different ways as a negative thing overall as well. It boils down to the Twitch culture. Like I mentioned that the other day too. It's like, but the Twitch culture in general has its ups and downs, and that's like been true since the internet, right? Like people talk about the good old days a lot, but I'm not necessarily saying it was better before all this. But there are ups and downs to being as interconnected
Oh
and
yeah,
everything
you end
being
up getting
shown
so
to you in a
like
30-minute YouTube clip or some shit.
well yeah, because like at the end of the day, it's like you have entertainment as a person that likes WoW to watch and everything else, but like when you're playing on those servers, the problem like honestly like right now is that there's only one server, right? Only
Yeah,
one
now that's the
classic
big
refresh hard
issue,
server.
right? Yeah.
So
Yep.
like the economy is going to be more swayed towards these streamers getting stuff, and I do like the fact that they have been putting in a lot of rules on not being able to get helped by followers and people non-guildies.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah. Yeah,
and
try to
like
make it a little more authentic and
that's
stuff.
probably
Yeah, make it
coming
right.
from like I would say probably Soda, who's been playing WoW since I want to say ever. Like he's like that's what started him. He was a WoW streamer.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's getting there, and it's good to watch. It's enjoyable.
Oh, yeah, at the very least, it's like you said, I've been
Oh
watching
yeah.
it. I thought it was an interesting video. So,
So like this will lead us into the next thing. What was your first MMO?
oh wow, my
Oh
first
yeah.
MMO.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's funny I said that because that was my first MMO. Yeah,
Oh WoW was, huh?
it's World of Warcraft. Yep. I remember, okay, so the story with WoW for me, like it was when it came out, like, Warcraft 3 and all that stuff, OG BattleNet was where it was at the time. Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, all the fun stuff, right? MOBAs, all the cool little freaking custom games that, spawned different things. And I didn't have a computer at the time. So I had a friend though, fortunately enough, whose family, like they were all geeking out about WoW. So they all like they had us set up in this one room. But every time I'd go over there, I had the opportunity to play them, and yeah, that was my first taste of a MMO was over at my friend's house,
All right.
playing with him and stuff. Yeah.
I want to say if I'm looking back at it, my first MMO, of course, is yeah, it's gonna be WoW, but not in the traditional sense, right? So like growing up, I had like the for the longest time, like I want to say PS2 was already out, and dude, I was still cranking games on N64 because we couldn't afford a PlayStation 2, Xbox, stuff like that. So like
Now, I
I'd
mean,
play
to be
X.
fair though, man, the N64 was also fucking amazing at the
Yeah,
time. Like we
it
had a
was
lot of GoldenEye
it
and
was
stuff too.
great,
That shit was
but it's
great.
like when my friends are playing like NHL 05 and I'm over here playing NHL 98 on a 64. Yeah, there's a big fucking difference. But like so I want to say is like I learned to play more like so like when I first started playing video games in general, it was more like sports and shooters. So like I remember my first computer game was actually Call of Duty 2, and we would LAN PCs at my buddy's house with his uncles and stuff, and I would just we would get destroyed because you got fucking adults who are like know how to play the game and they're just ripping into us. But like and then I also had a neighbor who was playing Diablo 2 at the time, I want to say. Because Diablo, one of the two. It was on fucking CD. And
Oh yeah, back
yeah,
everything was
so
back
like
then.
we were watching that shit and everything else. And then like I want to say it was like during the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 era, and Wrath was out. And that's the first time I've ever played World of Warcraft. But of course, I didn't have the money to pay the fucking subscription. I was a kid.
Right.
So I'm over here due to learning because millennial generation, fucking learning with the computers and internet at home and everything else. So you know what I did? I started playing WoW on a private server, on a Lich King, on a Wrath private server, and that's how I played.
There you go.
Yep, that's where I started. And then of course, like in basic and stuff, that's when Cataclysm came out, and I started playing Cataclysm because I could actually afford, my shit, my subscription and everything. But like, yeah, I played those private servers on on Wrath, and was hoping monthly that Blizzard wouldn't come down and just destroy them and end them. So
Oh right,
yeah,
yeah.
that dude. So
I mean,
like
that's a
that
real world
was
concern. Anytime you do something like that,
oh yeah.
unfortunately, you never. Thankfully, not as many companies are as vindictive as Nintendo has been, but at the same
Oh yeah,
time,
Nintendo,'s a
like they
whole
are
different.
probably
Yeah,
the
they
worst
do.
company for
Yeah, they are.
suing the shit out of anybody
Oh yeah,
for any
they
reason.
will make sure their IP is protected as
Wait,
much as they can.
wait a second. Did you draw a fucking, some kind of creature that looks remotely close to one of our Pokemon? Well, we're not gonna be allowed to have that.
Oh yeah, or like, hey, we saw you're catching creatures with a ball.
Right. Like, well,
That ain't happening. We have a
it's not a
patent on
ball.
catching creatures with a
Look,
ball.
look.
You
It's
better
not a
use
ball, all right? It's a fucking. It's a flask. How about that? It's got
It's
a
like you
cork
better
on
use
it.
a fucking triangle or a square to go out
It's a
there and fucking catch that shit.
it's a lamp, all right? You're not catching Pokemon. You're catching genies. Is that a trademarkable thing? Like, come on, I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
Like, I
dude,
think it's
everything is
silly, but
trademarkable in a sense. But yeah, no, that was my first MMO too. I want to say it's a hit or miss because like we had buddies, their first MMOs were EQ, and that was kind of the thing. Wait a minute, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, okay, so yeah, it was WoW Classic and then RuneScape because it was for free and on a browser. It was the easiest shit in the world.
Oh, RuneScape.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I never played it when it. Well, I did actually dabble with it when it was popular. That's
No
true, but I never actually got
way.
into it. I never got
No
into it.
way, really. Dude, I remember eighth
It was
grade. That's
yeah.
all me and my buddies were doing. Like, my dad got a laptop, and this was when I was living with my dad down in Virginia, right?
Mm.
He had a laptop, and that was when they first announced those USB um hotspots that could connect to your fucking like your mobile cell phone shit to give your laptops internet on
Oh
the
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah,
Dude,
absolutely. Yep, yep.
so like yeah, we got that and I was like, okay, well, guess what? We're playing this. I'm playing this right now. While you're driving around doing shit in the truck, I'm be playing old school RuneScape.
That's
RuneScape at the
awesome.
time. And yeah, dude, it was that. It was RuneScape and D&D. That was my fucking adventure of my 8th grade nerd life.
Oh, you actually started D&D when you were in 8th grade?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
I want to say I want to say it was 3.5. I started at
Oh, nice.
3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, personally, as complicated as it is,
it's the best.
I still feel like it is the best.
3.5 is the best for people that know how to play the game and stuff. 3.5 was amazing. I will
Yeah, it's like
say
if you
5th
want to read it and
edition
if you learn it, it is
nowadays
worth it, man.
is amazing for a new beginner that wants to play
It's
it.
more accessible. Like
Yeah.
the cool thing, like unfortunately, and this is the trend, right? And this is I feel like a trend that's happening a lot in games. overall. But it's like the discussion that we've been having, recently. About the style of game, it's like what's the difference between like classic WoW versus retail, for example? It's like and how is that different? What's changed from it? It's just it is way more accessible nowadays.
Yeah.
It's easier for people to come into and pick up and play.
For a couple
Just like
hours a day and
yeah,
not
yeah.
spend a lifetime on it.
Exactly. It's way more accessible for the wider audience for people that may or may
Yeah.
not have more time to do it. And that's the beauty of like fifth edition, and that's the beauty of retail WoW and stuff like that. Is the modernization of it is you reach more people, and that's a positive. But yeah, systematically though, yeah, if you go back and you want that kind of feel, that old school
Yeah,
feel,
which is always there, right?
3.5
You
is
can
the way to do
always
it,
go
right? Like
back.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you got Blizzard. Blizzard is here making these classic servers now and stuff. So you can always go back now with WoW. EQ fucking does progression servers all the time. So if you want to go back to old school EQ and feel how it is, the catch up to
Oh yeah.
current base stuff.
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings has done that. I will say that that's a big little shout out is that Lord of the Rings
Oh
Online,
yeah.
dude, is so fucking good now. Like it's good. I think they're dealing right now. I'd have to look. The last time I like looked around, they were dealing with their new servers because they went from 64 to 128.
Oh okay.
I think their servers are having some hard
A little
time
bit
running
of
the
growing
game.
pain.
Yeah, a little growing pain stuff, but they're there, they're communicating. So yeah, so like, and then you've got games nowadays that are deciding to come out and be like, you know what? We know that there's a big audience for people that want that fucking grind, that old school feel. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna drop it. Like Pantheon. Um,
Yeah,
like
well,
dude,
sorry.
oh you're good. It's gone through its ups and downs. Like
Mhm.
everybody knows it. But with this early access release, it showed people like, wow, okay, this actually hits the mark of like old school EQ and classic WoW, and I'm in love.
Yeah, I mean, so like my take with Pantheon personally, it's like right, because like hell, whenever we first heard about it, of course we were excited because it was amazing, and then I do know there was some curiosity there. Now, granted, of course there was real world concerns, which is understandable. Whenever the developer ended up passing, um, because I do feel like that had a big hit on the creative aspect of it, and he was probably a driving member of the team, right? So everybody was probably trying to do what they could with it from that point. But where it is now, yeah, I mean, even if it's just EQ with a little bit of RuneScape feel. I feel like the skill system reminds me a little bit of RuneScape, how you level them up, and even classic WoW, right? How you level them up and stuff through doing it and everything. And then yeah, it's EverQuest, right?
Yeah, it's exactly like, oh, no map, throw you in the fucking shit, and guess what? Hit C to see if you can take it or not. What color is it? Is it yellow? It's gonna be dicey. Red, you touch it, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's a learn through doing experience, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
100%.
and that's the thing too is like it's about like I think I mentioned it the other day or it's something worth noting like chipping away at a game, right? Versus like something you can pick up and play. Like I know you brought up a point where it was like what's Call of Duty really great for? Just being able to sit down, jump into a couple matches, shoot a few people and just have a good time, relax, not really worry about it too much. And then you got like any lengthy RPG, but an MMO especially, it's like I feel like you're committing to a grind. Like
Yes.
you call it a grind, but it's like it's more like you're playing the game, the same amount of time. It's like, but instead of shooting like 50 people in like 4 different matches of Call of Duty, you're out there just killing like 200
You're
freaking
committing to a
goblins
life.
or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much it. You're just playing when you can, chipping away at it. Like, but like I remember my dad used to play back whenever he did play games, Final Fantasy VII, the original one, and he was working his way through that. In between working and everything, but he'd just come home and just throw a couple hours here and there, right? He could afford to, and I think that that's how you have to do it if you're adapting as you get older and stuff, and you
Yeah.
still want to play games, right?
I like the
But
like how, we always like say like, oh, we're getting old or we're old and shit like
oh
that.
Jesus,
And
yeah,
it's
it's
like,
only gonna get worse, man. It's
bro,
only gonna get worse.
I was about to say like today I was just thinking about it, I was like, bro, we're in our 30s. Like technically we're not even close to being fucking old.
I mean, you know, I'm probably I could probably consider myself middle aged though, because let's be real, with how much caffeine I ingest, I'm probably not going to make it, you know, past 75. So I'm about there. I'm about halfway.
Dude, I'm living forever. I don't give a fuck what you
I'm gonna
say,
live
what people
forever.
say. Yo, fucking, I'm not dying.
Oh shit.
But then it goes on to like our biggest subject today, Ashes of Creation.
Oh hell yeah, Ashes of
Yeah.
Creation.
So I've been following this game since 2018. I think it was 2020 when I picked up my Alpha 1 and started testing Alpha 1 and everything else, doing all the spot tests. Took a break for a while, followed it off and on, and now we're in Alpha 2. And that's where you come in. You started
Yep.
learning about it this year, like in depth, doing Alpha 2. It's like, what's your first take?
So like my initial impressions of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like what I think about it.
So I'm not gonna call it the game. I'm gonna call it a test because
Yeah, yeah, it is a test. My
it's a
fault. But
testing, right?
my initial impressions of it, right? Of Ashes right now. Dude, it looks fucking amazing. First off, like, you know, I'm gonna just go out there and say, like, I am definitely like, let me put it like this. I think Classic WoW has, you know, still looks good. I do. So like I do think it has its charms. Now, does it look as good as Ashes or something that's made, you know, with modern tech and all that?
No.
Hell fucking no. Like, but I still enjoy the style. So like, you know, what I mean by that is like I'm not graphics aren't everything, but damn does that game look good, right? Like I can say that is phenomenal, beautiful. Gameplay too, man. I mean, everything is so smooth. Like I can honestly say it feels good. You know, it's very intuitive. Like, you know, you just go out there, you kind of just you're killing stuff. You can see everything. You know, all the abilities just seamlessly are flowing. But no, man, I mean, it seems like I'm very excited about the project based on what I'm seeing initially. You know, like I cannot wait for it to develop to a point where you know you could consider it a game,
Oh
like
yeah,
we were talking
like
about, because you know it's like you know like we were talking about, it's like you know you have to understand like the map. Like whenever you were telling me, I was like, okay, so how do you like that was my initial question is how do you play it, right? And you know that was without knowing any background or any backstory of anything else related to the project.
right.
You know, and it was one of those like, well, you know, you know, it's not an actual game, and I do understand that point now more given some of the things we're going to talk about. But no, man, it's phenomenal. I'll tell you what, given a lot of things that I've dealt with, like I can understand having a skeptical attitude, especially with the cost of entry and stuff like that for things like this.
For like
But
for a
I do
testing phase,
feel,
right? Like
yeah,
to
exactly,
test
for a
it,
testing phase.
it it's yeah,
Like you
it can
gotta,
hit you.
you have to want to test the
Yes,
game. You're paying for the privilege of testing the product because you know you're not doing it because you want to experience the fun that you're gonna have going through it. You're doing it because you want to actually help them develop it and you want to help them make it better, right?
exactly.
Um, but yeah, 100% cannot wait for that. But yeah, no, dude, Ashes of Creation. Yeah, I feel very good about the project. That was what I was gonna say. Is like you know we've all been burned in the past a lot, and I'm definitely probably one of the most skeptical people you'll ever meet when it comes to that kind of stuff. But you know I think this one deserves a fair shot. You know, given what they have, it's you know a lot more developed than a lot of things I've seen, and I have faith in it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna give them a shake. I've taken chances on worse things that turned out, you know,
Exactly.
to not end up anywhere, right? So why not
Yeah,
give them a
like
shake? And
in
this looks so damn
it's
good and feels so good, right?
it's for what it is, an Alpha 1. And I think that's what kills it, right? Is the fact that like I'm logging in right now. So like
Yeah, I'm
what can
watching.
happen is I can legitimately get into this game, and the crappy part is people that do not come out and just straight up be like, look, this is testing. All this is, and if they don't see that, and I'm just over here like this, right? And I'm just walking around and stuff. Does this look like a game that's testing?
Now, I don't, to be honest with you, from what I'm seeing, it kind of does look a bit wonky. Like, I don't know if the streaming quality is coming through on my end or something, but what I'm seeing is very pixelated. I don't know
So
if
that's
that's the
probably like the
live, but
code editing and stuff. It's
okay.
like if I stop and stuff and chill. And like I said, like for like live stream, it might be just a little different. It's also I'm streaming in 20 and 1440.
No, right.
It could
Well,
be
yeah.
kind of
There we
weird.
go. There we go. Now it's catching up. Yeah.
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 See, so
Exactly.
like,
See that's the normal clarity. But yeah,
yeah,
it looks phenomenal.
and it's just it's insane to me because it's just like the sad part is that like if you like, I want to say like if it wasn't for people saying like, look, or even like Steven and all the devs and community being like, this is a alpha product in testing. You look at this game, you look somebody streaming it or watching their videos, and you don't know anything about it. It's like, what is this game? I want to play this game.
I mean, that's exactly what I asked you. I
Yeah.
think that was the first thing. Like you showed it to me, and I was like, dude, that looks really
And the
good.
problem
What's
is though,
that?
is like, yeah, it's like, okay, well then like how much is it? And then you look, it's like, oh, it's $100. Like,
Well, and
wow,
then
that's an
then I learned
expensive game.
more.
And it's like, well, it's not a game yet. It's just it's in testing. And I think
Mhm.
another thing is the fact that this shows more like I guess it's the fact that like if you look into this game, like look at it and everything else and the core functionalities and everything else, it seems like this is even farther along than most companies nowadays that have brought in games on
It's
pre-release,
not
early
it's
access.
not a stretch to say that that's better than even some of the fucking AAA titles that have released
Yeah,
recently. I mean,
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Like there are companies that have billions of dollars of budget that put out dog shit that looks and feels worse than that game. Like or the demo that we have right now,
yeah.
right? I'll call it a demo for the time being, but you know what I mean? The tech demo. And it's like so yeah, like I think it's worth a shot. Like I want this project to live, you know?
Oh
It's like
yeah,
just like
like
any
dude,
project that's come out that's failed that, you know,
I love it. Like I'm playing my
like
elf right now. Well, it's not an elf. It's I'll have to fucking look at whatever. It's the elf, right? My ranger, like I always
mm,
do. Like of course, like you can see, like there is stuff that needs to get fixed, right? But
oh,
it's a
of
test.
course.
Or like if I
Yeah,
do this,
absolutely, of course, yeah.
I swap over to my bow and I swap back and I lose my shield, right? Bug.
Mhm.
It's been reported 100 times. I've reported multiple times. So I'm not gonna keep reporting every time. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure they know.
I do wanna go out here real quick, for you. You did come up with something. We're gonna coin this here. All right, you pioneered it. Can you go ahead and hit them with a little bit of the stuff you showed me the other day?
Oh,
You
dude,
know,
hopefully I can recreate it.
I
Because
mean,
like
I don't know
I
if it
was
is a recreatable bug, but
I
like,
was
hopefully.
on a caravan as well, which is a whole nother thing. Like
Ah, that's
I'm over
true.
here doing caravans yesterday, and I just like I'm just wandering around the world. Like I'm I'm all the way down here on the map. See a person, see a caravan, and I decide like, all right, I'm gonna defend it. All of a sudden, it gets us all the way up here, and it can turn into a raft and use the river. Never fucking knew that. Did not know. It was the coolest shit
Oh, no,
in
that
the
was
world.
100% cool. Like I said, I was telling you, you know, if, we'll have to
Because
try
it's
to
like
record some of that at some point, some
it's
stuff,
like
but
I want to say like I went invisible, did camouflage and everything else, and then I did like my aspect of the bear. Yeah, see, I don't think it's gonna. It was like a once in a lifetime like
But
bug.
so anyway, though, but he was, yeah, oh, gosh, you know, it feels silly saying it now without being able to show it, but you know, you're weapon surfing, bow surfing, as I like to call
Yeah,
it. You know, we're gonna go ahead and try to make that a class at some point in some context. All right, we're gonna, shoot bows only with your feet, walk on your hands. It's gonna be
but it's
amazing.
like look the water, like it's just it's a beautiful game, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I can't wait to continue like seeing what's going on. But then the reason why we're on this subject in the first place and Ashes has come up completely today is that fucking drama.
Ah, yes, the drama.
The
Yes, yes.
major drama that happened within like
Talk
the
about the
last week with
spicy stuff.
like the whole um pretty much Asmongold interviewed two people, Steven, the creative director, and the owner of
So
Ashes.
I think it all starts. I think we should start with the video, right? Because it starts with the video that Narc put out,
Yeah.
talking about and this is my understanding of it based on everything that we've seen and stuff. Um, you know, he kind of put the video out, pretty much destroying
The desert.
the new desert update, right
Yeah.
now. Um, so like his take on it was that, you know, it was, I guess, the things that had been shown were. already in the game for a while, and these are things that I don't know because I just got in with Alpha 2. But like some of the desert stuff and all that had already been there, and like the new expansion, I guess that was promised with the latest Alpha release or something, was a letdown. And I think that's kind of the gist of it, right? Um, did I sum that up well?
Well, it's like he pretty much came out and was like, "Hey, look, the desert biome that we were promised." And the sad part is like he found like the edge of the map and like a unfinished because it's in testing.
Oh,
The found that like an edge of a map where you couldn't see the actual fucking desert biome, like the actual completed parts. It was like, oh
well, yeah,
look, this could be generated in 5 minutes with
it,
AI, and
yeah,
they're lying to us, and this is a scam. But is it a scam? He was more like, like I pretty much sum it up like Steven put it properly where he came after the game, and it seems like he's doing that, like, oh, this game, blah 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 blah, go out and cause drama, and then so that when he comes back in his return, it becomes even bigger type of shit.
yeah, yeah. So and it could be. I'm not gonna lie. Like, here's the thing. Like, I really truly believe, like, as far as my personal take on it, like, like where I'm coming from, is definitely that it's probably a personal thing. I mean, I think Asmongold himself even asked him that question up front whenever he talked to him. He said, I feel like this is more about you and your channel and trying to, getting tired of doing this because you were trying to take this alpha and you were trying to make it
A career.
your main job,
Yeah.
like your main game, right? And it's not in a state like if you play this thing that like if you play this shit like classic WoW, you're going to lose your mind because it's not even a fucking it's not there yet, right?
Yeah, it's not a game.
Like
Like,
it's not there yet, right? So and
yeah.
and to some degree I agree with that. I think
Well,
that
yeah.
yeah, I think it has a lot to do with how he feels about it personally. Obviously, it's his take on it, it's his perspective. Other people agree with him. I'm not saying he's probably not even alone. Some people are probably pissed that have been following it from day one or something, know a little bit more about it than I do. But to sit there and go out on a limb and say that project doesn't have a like I'm telling you right now, it's not a fucking what is that Days Gone or that not Days Gone.
No,
The
I'm talking
game that
about that
the one that
zombie
fucking
game that like
literally
or whatever
one
that
that
dropped.
literally was a fucking scam, like
Yeah.
absolute scam. The
And
company
then
went
literally
bankrupt 2 days
bankrupt
later, and then now
like
they're trying
yeah.
to beg for money to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Like fuck you, all right? Like
Yeah.
it's definitely not that, all right? Like at all.
It's just
So
it's crazy to me because it's like I agree. He has some shit. I feel like he realized that like he jumped the gun, right? He
he
in
just
a sense he
it was
jumped the
just
gun because
honestly it was an opinion piece. At the end of
he
the day, it was an opinion piece, and he has the right to say that. It's just
well,
where Steven's coming from. He does have the right to
technically.
say it. He does have the right to say it.
Yeah, he
But
has a right to say
if
it, but
if
also
you
a
wanted
right to get fucking
to
sued out of
exactly,
his
if you
ass
want to
too.
look at it from Steven's perspective,
Yeah.
I agree 100% that he could look at it from a legal route,
Yeah.
like because it could be construed as slander to say that something isn't in the game, because it's like technically speaking, like and I think Narc even agreed whenever Asmund was talking to him. He said technically speaking, yes, the shit is in the game, right? But like the way he had described it, because I missed that part the other day when we were talking about it, but I went back through and caught like the actual interview with Narc. He was trying to spin it along the lines of like, okay, like this hub, the place that he showed was an actual node, right? Like, and it was the quote unquote expansion that he was talking about, the specific part
Right.
that was supposed to be updated. And that was the blank part. And I was like, okay, well, and if you look at, and if that is the case, then I can at least understand where he's coming from. But once again, to sit there and like, you can sit there and say you're disappointed with what was released or how you felt. He also admits that this was how I took it, right? He even says that, and that is a thing to note. It's like this is how I perceived it, right? So you personally, like I said, it's a personal thing with how he's taken it.
Yeah.
Feel that way,
But it's
but
like
yeah, it could
I
be like I said, it could be construed as fucking damaging. Like I said, there's a lot of
oh
money
yeah,
on the
because
line
the
in this
problem
early in a
is that
project to
like
go out there and throw out like the false claim that the shit's just broken
yeah,
and to
and it's a
imply that it
scam.
could be a scam. To imply that it could be
Exactly.
a scam is taking it too far, right?
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the problem is, like I said, like I think one of the worst things that happened, right, is the fact that like, yeah, he he saw that, okay, well, these are where the NDAs are about to get lifted and everything else. I can like do my channel, everything else about Asters of Creation, and it's like you're trying to do a full-on YouTube channel for the past 4 years already on a game that's not even out.
Yeah, it's like you got a home stretch. It's
You
like
are you are killing yourself because you put yourself in such a niche, and I think he finally realized it, and he found out, and he's realizing that there's not much more to go off of right now because it's alpha 2, like stuff
yeah,
gets
and it's
periodically entered and everything else, but there's not enough to make a living on YouTube
nope,
covering this game or this test right now,
no.
and he's realizing it, and he needs a way to get out,
Yeah,
and
well,
this
it's
might
funny.
be a way to get out, but you don't want to burn bridges with the dev team and everything either as you're exiting.
Oh no, I absolutely agree. It's like, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and that's the thing, right? Emotions get the better of all of us. I mean, I don't think any of us can say that we're not we haven't found ourselves getting heated about something, especially if, we're playing a game, we're passionate about it, whatever, just in general. But but one thing that I think it's funny you noted is that, it's like a platform he's leapfrogging. It's like, okay, well, we all know that drama sells, right? I mean, that's just one of
Yeah.
those things. Everybody likes a good story, especially like when it's not happening to you. Like that's just how it is. Like, and so whenever Asman brought it up, he was talking. He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "You got under, like that video had like 100,000 plus views," and he was like, "Oh shit, really? Like that's the most views I've ever had." It's like maybe
Well,
I
yeah,
should put
because it's a
ads on that
hate
video.
post.
It's like
Like,
maybe I should put ads on that video, right? It's like, come on, man. Like a part of you had to know, like especially in this day and age, it's like, yeah, you are looking at it like one aspect you always bring up is like a lot of these people have to look at it from a business perspective and a monetary perspective because it is their job, like it's their livelihood, right? Like this is what they do for a living. So of course that's a thing, and I mean, at the end of the day, this is nothing but good for Narc's channel, right?
yeah, like
Provided
he's
provided he doesn't get any legal fallout
it's
from the dev,
so like
which it
he's
sounds
not.
like he's not going to do
Yeah,
because that would
Steven's not
not
gonna do.
work
He
out
said,
well. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, it would
because
not
then
work out
people are
well.
gonna be afraid to talk about the game and everything else when it does have
Absolutely.
failures. But I will say that like it's kind of rough because this could make or it could kill his channel as well
No, absolutely.
because like it caught on with Asmongold,
Well, yeah, I mean, he did call it out too, the
and
same way. I mean, he feels the
Asmongold
same way that I agree
called
with him on a
his
lot of
ass
the points.
out
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
called some of the shit that he was doing fucking wrong.
Yep.
And then, and later in the interview, he had Steven come in, and I'm honestly gonna say is that like
I just gotta go on a point and
Steve,
say I
dude,
like Steven,
yeah,
man. Like the way he just keeps. I swear, like he's a cool dude. He seems like a cool dude. Let's put it that way. Never met him, but like the way he talks, the way he just is like keeping it, just telling it like it is. I mean, I can respect that, right? He's just a guy. He seems to me like just a guy who genuinely has a passion for
yeah,
feels the same way I do about a lot of this shit
dude,
when it comes to
drops
gaming and stuff.
$55 million of his
And is
own
actually
money.
trying to make a difference and trying to make a product that
Yeah,
suits that vision, right? But and that's just my, like I said, initial impression on the situation. He seems genuine, right?
yeah, he drops his own money in, right? $55 million worth into the game. Of course, he's gonna be passionate.
Oh
And
hell yeah! I
honestly,
mean, I
like
would hope
the stuff that he said,
taking a lot of
and
risk here. That's why he's
like
pissed.
and honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, he probably got contacted after his HR or his PR, my bad, his PR office, because like I said, like I've dealt with PR a lot when I was doing and helping build the U.S. Army's esports team. Is that like when it comes to social media, PR, and everything, dude, they are a fucking nightmare because you say shit, they catch you saying some stuff, and you're getting a phone call like, hey, we need to clean this up, statement or something,
Yeah,
because this
damage
can come
control. Yeah,
exactly. And
damage
it
control.
makes sense. Why? Because they don't care about you as a person, they care about the brand that you're selling
Oh yeah.
and trying to promote, and they're trying to keep that brand safe. And
Yes.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I agree with what Steven did. I think it was great. I think he actually, and then like looking at the subreddit and everything else, he actually got more people into the game trying it.
Well, at the
buying
end of the day, it's a
the
win-win for
stuff.
everybody because, like, however people feel, like, here's the thing with the drama, right? Is like the drama stirs up interest,
Oh
and
yeah.
it goes both ways. So no matter what you're looking at, it's a win-win for. Because what are we doing right now? We're
Well, hell yeah.
talking, right? Like we're sitting
We
here.
fast
This
tracked
is
this
like this is an
podcast.
interesting conversation, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so.
Like we were still probably like what? Like maybe a couple weeks to a month out before we were gonna actually start, and then this hit, and we're
Yeah.
like, all right, this is the talking point of episode 1. This is really good.
Yeah,
Let's fucking
absolutely.
get
I
it.
mean, so at the very least, it's like it is,
Oh yeah.
good attention, bad attention. Attention is good regardless, right? Because sometimes it can, at the end of the day, you're talking about it, and it's going to make more people. I think it's going to draw more attention to something that people haven't even heard of, right? Yet. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, could go either way. But yeah, but it is messy. I will say it's not a very good.
No.
Uh,
Like for
Not a
him,
very
he
good way of
probably
going
got
about it. I
yeah.
mean, like the way Narc
Like
did it, it's like I understand where you're coming from, man, but like,
but
you,
don't
you,
burn
you
bridges,
fucking you
especially a
just
game that
shit on
you're
somebody else to
yeah.
elevate yourself, right?
Yeah, and it's like especially on a game that your whole YouTube career has been built on. It's like, dude, like you're what is it? You're fucking biting the hand that feeds you. You're shitting where you fucking
Yeah, I mean, because God forbid he wants to come back to the game and make it, when it's
yeah.
done, or
Or he
in a
comes
couple
back with a
years, like
different
he's
opinion
saying.
in like a
Yeah.
year, and it's like, bro, you were just shitting on this game. Like, get out of here. Like,
Well, here's the thing too. It's like, do I think it would be right to like fucking ban him or something
no,
for what he did? No. It's
no,
like I think that'd be a
it's
little taking it too far, right?
dude,
But like,
yeah, no, like
like I
banning.
said, at the end of the day, love it or hate it, I do think he had the opinion. Now, granted, he had the right to say that, but like you said, if Steven wanted to, he could also sue him. That is well within his rights, I feel. But given the fact that he's not, I feel like there isn't much else that should be done about it, right?
Yeah, no, like, and I don't think
But
anything's gonna go further, right? And that's good. Like I said, like you had Steven come out, he say completely stuff. In the YouTube video, we'll do all the links that we've used that we watched with Asmongold stuff and everything else as well. But like his videos, right? Like inside the video, he straight up said, like, he kept it real. Like this is dear to his heart. He's done a lot of money
honestly,
into
it was
it.
more. He took it personally because it was personal. Like it was really about like the insult, and because so to sit there and say that they're not doing it, which you're making an assumption, right? First
Yeah,
off, like that's what you assume, that's what you're thinking based on how you feel at the time and what you see, right? And but
100%.
he very clearly was like, man, like fuck you, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're saying fuck me and fuck everybody that has spent all this time and effort and money and everything else and invested everything into this project
Yeah,
that you're
moved
you know
out
nothing
to
about,
like
right? You're not
yeah,
even
moved
giving
to
us a
San
fair shake
Diego.
here, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, like moved out, like people that left their homes moved to San Diego and stuff like that for this opportunity, and you're just trying to say that it's a scam and these people are just like,
Yeah,
get out, get over here. And it was just nice to see him be real, like an actual human being, and talk
and
from
and
his
that,
heart.
and like I said, that honestly does a lot to me. That's a lot of the reason why I do feel good about the future of Ashes because to hear some like it's a refreshing thing whenever you live in a world here now where you got all these big companies that are so afraid to say anything or do anything or take a risk or take a chance with anything, right?
Of
Because
course,
at the end of the day, you have to think about the profits, but to some degree. But it's like most of the time, I feel like the greed is what stifles creativity. And you have a lot of the same kind of stuff coming out of these AAA companies year after year for that reason. So the fact that anybody that's taking a chance on something different anyway,
yeah. And
is
then it kind of helps though too, right? Is that like you said, like it stifles creativity. It puts a like you have a big head at the head of the company being like, well, I want money and we
yeah,
need it
absolutely.
now. So cut all the other shit that's not in the game. I don't care. Because it's people that don't play the game compared to like Steven, who has like led guilds, played MMOs from the conception, like
Well,
loves
it's
the
like any
genre, and he has the opportunity now that he has millions of dollars,
yeah, he's in
and
a
he
state where
is
he
the
can
head.
afford to do it, and,
He
and that's what he
takes,
wants to
yeah,
do.
it's
Yeah.
crowd funded partly, and then himself funded majority. He
Yeah.
hasn't done anything with investors, and that allows him to be like, guess what? we will put the game out when the game is finished and the creativity is there and
Oh,
completed.
absolutely. They have the independent, and that's the thing with independent studios, right? It's like nowadays, a lot of the best games, I feel, like, don't get me wrong, AAA titles can be great. But, it's like there's a lot of, ones that, it's hit and miss anymore. But, but no, a lot of the independent companies out there are the ones that are making these really awesome games and coming up with these cool concepts that, things like that. And,
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's kind of like Thor said, like right after
yeah, they
like
have the
towards the
freedom to
end of
do
the
so.
video.
Oh yeah, and one thing I'm sorry, I forgot about a point. And I
Good.
remembered. We were talking about some of the best studios, right, that have ever existed the other day. And it's like Bungie and stuff. Okay, it's like
Oh.
Blizzard. Back in the day, it's like I feel like they're a team of gamers, like what you were saying. It's gamers building a game for gamers, right? And that's the difference. Like they're at the point too where it's like they're giving me the same kind of feeling there, where it's like they're actually putting out a product that we want to play. Like you said, he's like, I'm putting out something I want to play, right?
Yeah, because
So
it's kind of like look, like you have EQ original EQ developers in Ashes that are developing the Ashes of Creation, helping, right? You've got original WoW and EQ developers that are working on a what is it, a development MMO right now for Riot in the League of Legends universe.
I think I did hear something about
Yeah.
that. You said an MMO for Riot.
Oh yeah, yeah. League of Legends MMO has been announced. It's just we're waiting, like waiting on a lot more stuff to come.
Yeah.
But
So
imagine that, dude. Imagine when that releases, because
Yeah.
of the amount of lore and world already around League of Legends. They have
Oh, I mean, dude,
Netflix. They have Arcane, the fucking
well,
season 1
here's
and
the
season 2.
thing. Here's the thing that interests me about that the most, right? Because like think about it like this. The only thing I've tried League a couple times, right? MOBAs, all that shit. I
It's
get you.
rough.
But look, man, it's like it's a highly competitive environment. All right, you
Yep.
got fucking sweaty motherfuckers running around that shit all day,
You have
every day,
you have people
learning
like
every
Tyler
fucking
One.
little
Yes.
Heidi's hole, fucking just fucking you up, right? Like, and they get pissed if you suck, right? Like that's
Well,
how
yeah,
it works.
like this. Like you have, like I said, you have Tyler One, who is like he is a League of Legend player and a really good one, right? And
Yeah, absolutely.
so
Yeah.
like there's where's it at? Where's it at? Where's that?
But the
Right here.
funny, well, yeah.
He's coaching Soda Poppin', right?
Mm. What in League?
Dude,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
in
so real,
League.
real quick though, the funny thing to me though is like, what's gonna happen when you take these people and you throw them into a fucking game like WoW, right? It's like, how is that gonna play out?
Oh,
Because it's
dude,
like,
no, this
like, is
game
this
is
gonna be like
League of
strictly balls to the
Legends.
wall PvP? Because that's what you're gonna
It's
have
gonna be
to
both.
do.
They're
Like
gonna
you're
do
gonna have to do
PvE.
because I feel like that kind of clientele is not gonna
Right.
like a
Well,
slower paced
well,
game.
no, like I feel like okay, so there's some things where it's like with League of Legends, like Riot One puts out bangers. We got to give it to California fucking developer right there. League of Legends, amazing. It's a great game, great lore, great everything. Like I'm ass at it, but it's good. The
Oh yeah,
fan
no, I mean
base and the
absolutely. I mean, as a
community is
MOBA, it's a
toxic
good
as
ass
fuck.
game, yeah, 100%. No, as a game, dude, like as
Yes,
a MOBA and everything, it's a fucking fantastic
but
fucking game.
then
Absolutely.
you have Valorant,
It's just not fun
right?
to play because the people. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
you got Valorant.
That's the
That
state
is
of the
like their Hero CS, which is still a really great game. But you put CS people in the Riot community, and CS is already toxic, so that fucking thing's toxic. Dude, this MMO is going to be a couple things, I think. If it's not like a WoW third person like regular MMO, it's gonna be
Mhm.
more like Lost Ark, and it's gonna be top down like League of Legends,
Oh, yeah, no, and honestly,
right?
that's how it should be. To be fair,
And
because I think it's gonna be
then
less culture shock for the community
yeah,
too.
also
Yeah.
it's gonna have PvE because of like storyline lore. They give it's because if they want to get both aspects of the MMO world, you need to have instanced PvE stuff.
Oh well, absolutely. I mean, they're trying to
But there's
expand it
gonna
out
be
anyway too.
heavy
Yeah, yeah.
PvP areas, especially
Mhm.
if they make it kind of run off the same type of mechanics of League, where it's like either WASD, like how Path of Exile has now, movement, but it's still the top down type shit, or even if it's click, like RuneScape and stuff, dude, the PvP scene is gonna be insane. And it's going to be one of the most fucking toxic MMOs out there.
Oh, more
100%.
than likely.
But
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
mean,
so
well, I
like,
mean, but you know, you're signing up for that when you're playing it,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like, there's
100%.
nothing innately wrong with that either. Like, you know, there's an importance for that kind of a game too in the community. Just like people want to slay, right? Like we
Yep.
want to kill each other. That's it. Like, you know, it's like Albion Online. We were talking about that the
Oh
other
yeah.
day. That is a game strictly for people that want to fucking just fight each other in gigantic battles out in the open world,
Yeah,
right? And
and
risk some gear
sandbox.
and stuff. Yeah, and risk the loot and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
completely
Um,
sandbox, everything else. Yeah.
yep, yep.
So yeah, so pretty much Tyler won, right? Because he's a big league, and you can tell by his
That makes sense.
mannerism that he's a league
Oh,
player.
dude, makes sense.
Yeah. So he's teaching or he's coaching Soda, and this is how well of a fucking player he is, though.
Mm.
In this video, he knew by just like when Soda got here, and then sees another player come up and Soda do something, one like mechanic, he already knew, hey, no, that's a double kill. We can get it. Something
Right.
that like you just a normal person's not gonna fucking know. Like, all
Yeah,
right,
just
so
like,
here you
oh,
go.
he lost a chunk, he's dead.
Yeah,
We
so
can
here you
get him.
go.
Yep.
See? Double kill. And here's the league community right here. In a nutshell.
I was gonna say they got the one, so he's just got to finish this one off before he gets behind the towers. Oh shit! Yep, now get the fuck out. Is it lagging? Ah,
But yeah.
we're on an ad break,
Oh, nice.
at least on
But
my end.
like, yeah, he just starts screaming, dude. He just starts like instead of just like W, because W will get him out of that like getting killed, but he gets killed and he's like just screaming at him like, you fucking insect. And I'm just like, that's league. There you go. That's the community right there.
No, absolutely.
But
Like
like,
that's what I'm saying, man. Well, you got to think too, man. It's like it's an OG. Like it's like Dota, right? Dota is also one's Dota and you know League
yep.
Two that people have been playing since the dawn of time, right? So like you know since it got ported out of the old school BattleNet lobbies, like I was talking about.
Oh
Like
yeah.
so, I mean, it's you know there's a big skill gap there, and I think that's the big thing is like it's a great fucking game for the people, you know, and but you know it is very hard, you know, just like any game of that genre or that type. With a big skill gap like that, it's very hard, you know, for a newcomer to come in and learn it, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
the big
Right
thing.
now,
It's not
if you try to
very
come in and
accessible,
play, yeah, if you
but
try to
it's
play
yeah.
league, you're so fucked because it's
No,
just
dude,
like if you
100%.
don't have
Like,
someone to pocket you and teach you the full fucking game, you're screwed. Because like I remember me picking it up, playing it, I'm like,
ugh.
okay, cool, this is fun, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna go to ban phases now because that playlist we can ban, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, oh yeah, they picked this person, so we need to ban this person, and it's just like, wait, now say like I'm an AD carry or a fucking support, or fuck, say I'm was it a top laner or a top laner, right? And I pick this person, or the person on the other side picks a person. Like there are people to counter that, so you need to know. Oh, this person counters me on this, so I need to be careful with that. Or that I can't. They pick this, so I'm gonna pick this to counter this
Oh,
person. I'm like, no,
bro,
just
I
dude, the
mean, it's
skill gap.
it's a 100% respectable thing, man. Like, you know, it's like anybody that gets good at their craft, right? Period. You
Yeah.
know, it's like it's very admirable because it's like you know it's a science, man. Like there is, you know, that's the way it used to be. Like even whenever you watch, like I saw Grubby play a lot of Warcraft 3, you know, and it's like just remembering some of the things that I forgot from back then, and like
Right.
a lot of those nuances. It you know like that's what it is. Like just like that 1% stat gap in WoW, right? It's like what am I fighting for? Oh man, that extra fucking 3 int is what it's all about, you know, like just the min maxing, right? To do what it takes to get the edge.
Yeah. No, I
But
got you. Yeah. It's just it's so weird.
but yeah. No, that's why I mean I do like watching competitions and stuff. Like I'll say one thing, League is a fun game to watch. Like I wouldn't mind checking out some watching games of that, but playing it is a whole different story. I'm not that kind of guy. I can't do it.
Yeah, like
Admitting
I'll
it
watch
right here.
Worlds and stuff because of the hype and everything else, and like watching the Koreans just whip ass on everybody else. But like, yeah, no, yeah, it's an enjoyable game. I enjoyed it when I was playing it. I enjoy other game modes, but it's just too much. Like I'll stick to my MMOs and my FPSs and all the other 100 fucking things I do.
Right, I'm getting old, man. I can't keep up with that shit anymore. What are you talking about? Like, freaking, my arm
Yeah,
doesn't move like that anymore, right? No, I'm just kidding.
because then there's like what was it? Before we wrap it up in the next couple like few minutes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
your favorite shooter? Because we're gonna talk about shooters. So what's
You
your
talking
favorite
about
shooter?
currently, like just individual, like my
All
absolute.
around. What is your favorite of all time?
Okay, so if I could go back, if I could
No,
play one
just all time.
fucking all-time shooter favorite. Well, the one that brings the most fondest memories, at least the one that everybody always talks about. Like I think the best time I had with shooters was Modern Warfare 2, the OG Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Uh, back whenever people were noob tubing across at spawn and freaking quick scoping them and shit. I think that's probably
That's the one
was
with
like the
Rust, right?
highlight. I think yeah,
The
I think that
Desert
was the one that
Rust.
actually
Okay,
started
so
Rust. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one that I was running JTAG Xbox lobbies with instant prestige. Got it?
Yeah, because you used to have, I think you used to be able to fucking Kimbo shotties and stuff
Yep.
too. People were running around being broken, and the
Yeah.
stealth. Oh my god, the knife build! Like you could
Oh yeah.
actually just fucking run around with a knife build and stab everybody. Like there was all sorts of fun stuff that people were doing on that one. But yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I
Nowadays they try to
love.
balance that stuff because in the sake of fairness and all this stuff, they try to fix quote unquote fix it because yes, inherently it's not balanced. But I also
Oh,
think that's where a lot of the fun in those kinds of game lies. Like,
it's
it's like
fun
just
looking back
everybody
at it
can
now,
do
but when
it.
you were getting constantly killed by new tubes, I think I still have a clip somewhere saved where I was getting lobbed and I raged
Oh,
because it's
oh
just like,
yeah, you
yeah,
get
like I said,
heated
like it's
sometimes. I mean,
nice listening, it's
natural.
nice
Yeah.
thinking about it now, but at the time we were complaining, calling the game shit. This is
Well,
dumb.
well, to be
100%.
fair, to be fair, this is the thing though too, right? And this is always a weird thing. But I had a buddy. He broke more than one peripheral, right? Because he'd get pissed
Yep.
playing games. Now, I was never that person though. Admittedly, I will say, like I used to play Call of Duty, and as long as I like my only goal going in was to try to get more kills than I had deaths, and I only played hardcore team deathmatch mainly. So like I was just in there to shoot people, one tap done kind of
Right.
shit, camping in the corner. Like that's my style. So it's like I always was like, hey, you win some, you lose some, because the KD, if you looked at it over a span, almost kind of mellowed out, right? At least for me. And I was doing okay most of the days, but like there was one day he just slammed his shit because he was doing worse than me, and it's like we won the game, we were both positive, everything was great, and he's just
Yeah,
like,
but I'm
"Fuck you,
not
you beat
top.
me." I'm like, "God damn it, yeah, exactly." He's like, "But you beat me." I'm like, "Okay, man, like I can't control that, right? Like that's just how you're looking at it, right?"
Right.
But yeah,
I want to say is like, so like, yeah, so like Call of Duty's up there, of course. Counter Strike's up there just because like I gave my life to it for a while. But honestly, my favorite overall just shooter my whole life that has like something like dear to me and everything else, Halo.
oh yeah, Halo was also
Yep.
really, and that's
Hey,
also a tough
Halo.
call.
I
Obviously that gets a mention too. That was a
yeah,
big formative
dude.
game too.
I
Yeah, great.
remember OG Xbox, the box with like the oversized fucking controller playing Halo Combat Evolved. And then Halo 2 with like dual needlers and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And then of
Oh,
course
dude.
like there's Gears, but
Oh, Halo 3 was peak, man. Like the
oh yeah.
Forge, everything
Dude, so
about
good.
it
So good.
was like it
Infection.
honestly was, yeah.
Dude, which what's crazy is that like it's sad to say, but the new one plays really well. It has the Forge, all that stuff back in the day, and I haven't jumped on it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's like, and that's really the problem I think with it. Like I haven't thought about Halo in years, and I don't know why. I haven't really wanted to play it. I think the last one I played was
I
in.
got
Did
to
I even
do the
play
whole
Infinite? I don't
legendary
know.
campaign one through all again.
I mean, like I said, we definitely should go through that one of these days. Maybe even record it, just us playing Legendary Halo and try to get back into it because
Yeah.
I definitely think it's worth going through again. 100%. I haven't played that game in years.
All right.
But
Favorite tabletop game?
tabletop game.
That's
Well, I
gonna be
mean, I
easy.
gotta say, yeah, I was gonna say that was obviously probably D&D,
Yeah.
100%.
Of course, yeah. Number one,
Like,
D&D. Like it's
yeah.
usually D&D or Pathfinder, right?
Well,
That's
yeah, as I've never actually
just
got to
kidding. I
try
like life, bitch. What? Come at me
Game of
now.
life. Yeah, exactly. Like, let's be real. I mean, at the end of the day, Monopoly is always a classic. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, that's
All right, so yeah, so D&D, we brushed up on that. All right. Your favorite trading card game?
definitely Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Which
always
one did you
enjoyed the
start off
concept of
with
that one.
first?
Oh shit, dude. The first man, Phyrexia. Something about Phyrexia, new Phyrexia. I believe that was the box set that was out whenever I was buying it in AIT. Yeah,
Okay.
because I started when I was in AIT with my buddies there because we had a lot of downtime and a lot of money, right? A lot of expendable
Right.
income. And so I was like, let's get into it. And we played cards all the time. Yeah.
Let's see. My favorite TCG now is Magic. But honestly, back in the day, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude, I would slap some
Yeah,
fucks on
I
some Yu-Gi-Oh, bro.
man, I mean, yeah, like Magic was always like intriguing to me even back then. But yeah, I
Yeah,
played.
but back then, yeah,
I never actually got into Magic when I was younger, but
exactly, because it's the
I did
old
play
heads. It
fucking
was all the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
fucking like,
Absolutely, yeah.
it was the old adults playing Magic, and then it's
Yep.
like, yeah, but we have video game, Yu-Gi-Oh, trading
Yu-Gi-Oh!
card, exactly,
Come on,
like
man, it was the fucking Dark
100%.
Magician, bro.
Oh
Let's
yeah, and
go.
Blue
Fucking
Eyes,
Dark
like, come
Magician,
on,
Blue Eyes White Dragon, fucking
Exodia,
Kaiba, like
like
the old school anime drama shit. Come on, man,
100%,
like it
yeah,
was so
100%.
good. Dude. It was so good.
And they
Yeah,
had
it
their
it
own
was a good
decks that
show.
you
Yeah.
could buy. So like someone would come in with like Red Eyes Black Dragon with the
Oh
Joey's
hell yeah.
deck, and it's like, dude, I'm going to destroy you.
All right, man. So
Yeah.
at the sake of getting judged harshly here, all right, I have a confession to make. So like, I'm not proud of it, but like, we got to a point there in the cafeteria, like back in the shit. What was that, grade school? I don't even
Oh
remember
yeah,
how young I
probably.
was, but we used to play each other for
Oh
fucking
yeah.
cards, man. And
Dude,
I used
oh
to
yeah.
fucking take advantage of these two guys all the time because they were so like they'd always want to play me for cards, and I was like, got to a point where I was like, all right. Fine, like play me for that one. Like that's
Yeah.
the one I want.
Like,
Yes, I just
dude,
take their shit like every day. Like if you guys want to keep giving me your stuff, by all means. Like, but
I
whatever.
dude, I remember I went on my Kaiba like villain tour at school. Like I had my parents buy me or my mom buy me dude, two Kaiba decks, right? And she was over here like, why are you want
Yeah.
two of the same one? I'm like, oh, because I'm gonna fuck shit up with two Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Yeah,
Duh.
because it's all about the blue eyes. You
Yeah,
got double now.
dude.
Like,
And I remember playing against the guy with a Joey deck with his red eyes, and we would play 4 cards. And he was like, oh, well, my mom only will allow me to play or buy 1 deck. Okay, cool. I'm about to fucking destroy you, but all right, cool.
I'm about to, yeah, right. I'm about
Dude,
to fucking.
I destroy him, and I put up a blue eyes. He put up his red eyes. I grabbed his red eyes at the end, and I ripped it in half.
Damn.
In
that's
his
cold.
face, bro. Oh yeah, dude. I was,
Man, ouch.
dude. I was fucking dirty. Like,
Disenchanted
oh
it
yeah,
on the
dude,
spot.
dude. It's
Like,
like you're not gonna play shit anymore, bro. Like, yeah, like I was an asshole.
oh,
But it is
fuck,
what it
that's
is.
funny. Nah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know what? We were all young once. I'm sorry. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like all kids are fucking assholes. Like that's just how it is. We naturally, to some
yeah,
degree, because they don't know any better too. Like some of the shit they say, they don't realize how harsh it comes across and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like I
And
don't
then
know.
of course, our era Pokemon, like
Oh yeah, Pokemon.
everything,
See,
video
so like I
games,
never, yeah,
single
I
player
never played
RPG.
cards, but yeah.
Yeah, like cards, I collected them, but like the games, downright my favorite
Oh,
single player
100%.
RPG. Yeah, like I
Like
still
some of
play.
the
I
best.
play all the games still. Like I still need to
OG
hook up my.
Game Boy, Red and Blue.
Dude,
Fucking
I literally bought Soul Silver just so I can play it again, like a canon one. So like I still need to hook up my Switch because I need to still finish Scarlet. But yeah, no, like I enjoy it. What else? Yeah, no, it's just gonna be good. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna find different things to talk about on here. But yeah. No, I've been enjoying playing video games, and
Oh yeah,
dude, I
absolutely, man.
cannot wait for some of the games that are supposed to be coming out.
I mean, it's an exciting time. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon. 2025, I feel, is going to be a very good year for gaming based on what I've seen. Like, not gonna lie, I think the thing I'm looking most forward to this so far, at least right now, is that Metal Gear Solid Delta, though, man. That Snake Eater remake is going to slap. And then now, admittedly, that is coming. Like, at one point, I did say I was never gonna pay for another Metal Gear game again, like, a remaster, remake,
You
whatever.
are.
But dude, like, well, that's because it's like they weren't doing anything new with it. It was just another.
It was just a
What made me
remake,
mad.
right? Like
Well,
up the
what made me
graphics a little
angry
bit.
here, let me set it up. So the way that Konami set it up was it was impossible to buy all of the Metal Gear games collectively together for the longest time. They would release Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 or Metal Gear Solid, 1 and 3, and then it's like, "Oh, here's Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid, fucking 1." And it's like, so I ended up buying the same damn games like 5 different times. And whenever they released the Ultimate Collection for the PlayStation 3, that's when I said, "Fuck it, I'm never buying them again," right? Unless
This is the
unless
last
they
time.
change them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last time I'm doing it because I have them all now,
Oh
all
no,
the
I
classics.
remember that conversation. And you're like, because
Yep,
I
yep.
even brought out like, hey, they're remaking Snake Eater, and you're like, nope, vowed not to do it, never doing it, and
Yeah.
they're changing the
Well,
game.
I mean, it's an actual
Yeah,
upgrade, like it's amazing. It's a
they're
whole
making
different
it
yeah, a
more
whole different
modern.
experience, right? It's gonna be
Yeah,
just like the remakes for, like Silent Hill 2, which I have not played
yeah.
yet,
Or
arguably, or Resident Evil, all the
Final
Resident Evil
Fantasy
upgrades.
7.
Final Fantasy
Yeah,
7.
they're
I
doing
still
the
want to
right
get
way.
into that too at some point. Those look amazing, right? Look
Never
like they're
played.
gonna be
I've
worth
only
the
played
play.
one Final Fantasy game besides the MMO, and that's the one with lightning. And I just
Oh, arguably, you came in at a bad time. You caught us at an awkward time.
I like
Like
lightning.
that was
I
not.
like her.
I did
I
not
enjoyed
care
it.
for
I just
13 all that much.
don't.
I think it was 13, wasn't it?
Dude, I like my wife.
Or
Okay,
12,
so
yeah, 13. Now that was 13, and then 13X2. Whenever
yeah.
it was her and her fucking traveling band of
Dude,
merry women.
it was just insane, dude. Like it's just I don't know. Like I said, like I'm more of a community and group player, not a single player.
For me, it didn't have anything to do with characters on that one either. Like, I just didn't care for that one personally. It was the gameplay at that point. Just wasn't really my kind of game. Maybe the story a little bit too, but
But yeah,
that was just my take with it.
but yep. I think what we're planning on doing live at some point during the week when we have time. But the actual the YouTube video podcast and then the other locations we plan on launching those Sunday evening every week or every two. I don't think we've talked about this yet either, but we'll figure that one out.
Well, let's just. I mean, if I think the best way to do it would just be say like expect one every couple weeks, and we'll try to put
Yeah,
more out. Right. I think
because
that's a good way to do it.
try to keep on a schedule just because
Right.
that's
Right.
what people like. People like schedules. But
Absolutely.
whoever ends up actually listening to us talking about just stupid shit about video games and everything else, I appreciate you coming by, hanging out, listening. If you're listening over on YouTube, put a little like, subscribe so you get notifications. Make sure you do all that jazzy stuff over there. Write down in comments on any other platform we put on. See, hell, give us ideas if you would like us to
Yeah, no,
talk
I
about
mean,
something.
absolutely. If there's something that because I want to say absolutely, like from, thanks for, if anybody's listening, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it was, enjoyable. Look forward to getting into this. Hopefully it takes off a bit and see where it goes. But yeah, absolutely. You know, thanks for coming in. Nice to do this.
Oh yeah. All right, I think that's it. Everybody
Yeah,
have a
we'll catch you
good
next
day.
time.
Yep.
Yep, take it easy.
See ya.